Hey everybody, this is Technoli. Today we've got an exciting build. It's a Hackintosh. We've got the MSI Z390 Gaming Plus motherboard. We've got 16 gigabytes of RAM. We've got an i5 9600K. Nice ports there. We've got a Sapphire RX 580 8 gigabyte graphics card. This is one of the easiest Hackintoshes you could do, and this is Catalina. Let's get started with it. Okay guys, so this is a vanilla Catalina Hackintosh. I showed you in another video how to create a vanilla bootable thumb drive, and you just want to go to the Apple website, just put in Google how to create a bootable installer for macOS. This page will come up. Then all you do is copy this line of text, okay? But first, of course, you have to go. Let me put in my thumb drive. I'm not going to format it because it's the one I'm using to do this video, but we're going to go to Utilities, Disk Utility, and then we're going to Show All Devices. Now right here is my thumb drive, so we're going to erase it, and you can call it, let's call it USB, and then click Erase. When it's done, you're ready to go, all right? So, once you're done with that, you come over here and you copy this text, right? You go up here, type in terminal, hit enter, and in terminal, you're just going to copy that line into here, but we named the thumb drive USB, remember? So we're going to back this up and type on USB, hit enter. It's going to go through a lot of percentages until it's completely done. Once it's done, then we go out of here. We have Clover Configurator on our machine that we're making this USB on. And remember, if you're going to make a Catalina boot disk, you've got to be on a Mac or some kind of computer that has the Catalina boot disk in its application folder, which is here, okay? So yours will be in here. Once we're done making the USB, we're gonna come over here to the Clover Configurator, and we're going to click Mount, and we're gonna mount the USB that we just made. Now yours is going to be empty. It's not going to have this EFI folder in it. So what you're going to do is you're going to download my EFI folder for this build from below the description, and you're going to put it on the drive and just let it, and just click replace, and then that's it. Okay, now let's do some tests. So let's go ahead and run Cinebench. Click Run. And when this is complete, we'll come back with the results. Okay guys, coming down to the end here, let's see what we end up with on this one. Wow, 2562. That's above an i7 7700K. This is an i5 9600K. It's just below this Intel Xeon X5650. Amazing performance on a machine that's not that expensive. Now, let's do a test on Blackmagic. We're going to test our hard drive performance. Now, this has an NVMe drive in it, so let's see how this performs. Go. Okay, write speed at about 1200. And read, oh, nice, 2600 Sweet. That definitely helped us in Cinebench, didn't it? All right, so let us go ahead. We've got our thumb drive built. Let's go ahead and boot this one. But first, we got to go into the BIOS, remember? Okay, on MSI motherboards, you know, we got to hit that delete key to get into the BIOS. I really like MSI. The BIOS is really easy to set up for Hackintosh. If you're not already in this screen, you press F7. You might be in this screen when you first come in. Press F7 to get to Advanced. And we just click on Settings, System Status. We don't change anything here. Advanced. Everything there is good. Everything there is good. Integrated peripherals. Just turn off Network Stack. Make sure you're on ACH mode. And make sure down here you've got the audio controller turned on, enabled. Integrated graphics configuration. We're using, of course, the RX 580, so we want to select the PCIe, not the integrated graphics. USB configuration. USB controller enabled, of course. XHCI can be disabled. Legacy support supported. Yes. Super I/O. We definitely want to make sure we disable that serial port. Power management, leave it by default. Windows OS configuration, we want to set this to UEFI, not to CSM, okay? UEFI. Fast boot, disable. We'll go down here to secure boot and make sure it's disabled. Everything else you can leave by default. Now, let's go out of here and go to boot. Logo, that's your preference if you want the logo or not. Down here, we're going to select the UEFI USB hard disk as the first boot device. And everything else can just stay here. First boot option I've got selected as the hard drive, the M.2, but you don't have to worry about that. You can leave it like that. Okay, let's go to security. We don't need anything. Save and exit. Right there. Save changes and reboot. All right, now on MSI motherboards, you press the F11 key to get to the boot menu. Okay. So let's get going here with that. All right, so here we are. UEFI SanDisk. That's what we have, is a SanDisk. So we're going to go ahead and boot here. And once we come up to the Clover menu screen, we're going to want to go to verbose mode. Put a check mark on that box. So I'll show you how that's done right here. Okay, so we're going to want to make sure we're selected on the install macOS Catalina, which is our USB. We'll hit the space bar, go down here to verbose with the arrow key, space bar, go back up, boot macOS with selected options and hit enter. We're going to see a lot of text on the screen, you know that. Or if this is your first Hackintosh build, maybe you don't know it. So we'll show you a little bit of that, and then we'll get to the next step. So it'll do this, and we'll come back when it gets finished. Okay, we're coming up, and we're getting up to this Apple logo. This will take just a few minutes to get completely across. Now remember, guys, if you have any questions or you have problems, just comment below, and I'll get back to you. Or you can go to my website at technoli.com, and you can email me direct there. Okay, so here we are at the more fun part. We're going to go to Disk Utility, and we're going to select all devices. That's my NVMe M.2 hard drive. We're going to erase it. I'm going to name it Cat Vanilla. And then we want to select here APFS, because it's Catalina, and GUID partition map. Click erase. All right, we're done with that. Now what's nice about Catalina, we don't get this error We don't have to change the date back like we do on Mojaves. Don't know why, but we don't have to. So click continue. Agree, agree. Select our hard drive now and install it. We'll come back when this gets finished. This will take a little bit of time. Hey, just want to let you know, this will reboot automatically. So don't freak out. Just like on the Mojave builds, this will reboot on its own. So let it do its thing. We're going to leave that USB drive in the computer because we still need to boot from it. Now, this motherboard, just so you guys know, this motherboard does have the ability to use Intel graphics, which is built on the processor, of course, but this board supports it. But I could not get the accelerated graphics to work in Catalina on the UHD 630 Intel chipset. So if you want me to do this same build with Mojave, we can do it. Just let me know. And hey, please subscribe if you like this video or you want to see more of these. We're doing a lot of different Hackintoshes for you guys. We really have fun doing it. So please subscribe. And there it goes. All right, we're just going to go ahead and leave that USB in there, like I said. And we're going to boot from the hard drive this time. But we have to select it. Okay, now use those arrow keys to go over here to Boot macOS Install from Cat Vanilla, which is our hard drive. Hit that space bar. Let's make sure, we'll turn on that verbose mode so we can see the text and make sure there's no errors. Slap enter. Let's go. A lot of text again. Okay, guys, coming up to that next screen. Now it's going to sit on here for about 10 minutes doing some more install. So let's let it do its thing. And this will go pretty much to the end. And then it'll do an auto reboot again. And still, we need to leave that USB drive in there because we still need to boot from it. Okay, we got less than a minute, or about a minute remaining. And I just wanted you guys to see the reboot on this. And there she goes. All right, we're going to boot up from the USB. You know that. So leave it in there. Okay, guys, we're going to go over to our hard drive. Again, slap that space bar, hit it again, and boot. Let's get up to the next screen. Okay, now it's getting exciting. We finally get up to this screen. Yeehaw! All right, now I do have my Ethernet cable plugged in, and I had it plugged in this whole time, so it's okay on this build to just leave it plugged in. Select your country, and just continue, continue, continue. And right now I don't want to sign in with my Apple ID, so I will just say set up later and skip. Agree to our terms and conditions. You can name it whatever you want and give it a password. All right. Continue. I always customize this. There we go. Don't want to send a bunch of information to Apple. Set up later. Enable Siri, sure. Not now on the recordings. And we'll choose dark, like we had it when we first started. By the way, this is the same computer you saw when we started this video. So we just redid it all over again. Okay, we're going to tell it. I've got a Windows keyboard, so we're just going to hit our keys and click done. Now, Let's see. Do we have... Yeah, Radeon RX 580, 8 gigabytes. And as you can see here on it, we've got full high definition, of course. Now let's go over to audio and sound output, and there it is. I've got it selected right now on my monitor for audio output, which on this monitor really does suck, but that's another video. Okay, and then do we have internet? I believe we do, because Apple was asking us a bunch of information. All right, we do. So, if you'll remember, when we started this, I had Clover Configurator on the desktop. So now, what we have to do is, we have to copy that EFI folder from the EFI partition on our USB to the EFI partition on our Mac hard drive. So we're going to use Clover to do that. Open it up. Now, when you get that message, you have to right-click and go Open, and then Open. All right, and I hate this tips thing that comes up now with the new Clover. We're going to mount our EFI. This is our USB, so we'll go ahead and mount it first. Put in your password. Okay, so there's my EFI partition on my USB drive. Now we have to mount the one that's on our Catalina vanilla. Put in our password. Click open, and see, there's no folder in here. So we just open up our EFI folder on our USB partition and copy this folder over to the EFI partition on the hard drive. Now we'll be able to boot without the USB. We can go ahead and pull the USB out. Let's see if this worked. Okay, coming up. Now, you can boot from either one of these, but I always go over to the Catalina. Just hit enter. And this is one fast computer. I think you'll all agree. I'm going to have a list of all of the parts that I used on this in the description below. And of course, you'll have that link to download my EFI folder that I built this with. And there were several changes that I had to make on that. It wasn't horrible. And so you guys will have it. You can do this same build. Remember, guys, it's always about the motherboard that is usually the issue that we have with our Hackintoshes. And so you just have to do a lot of testing to get these things to work properly. You know, it is rocket science. So hope you enjoyed this video. I really appreciate your watching it. And please like and subscribe. See you on the next one.